And let's jump into the heart of our spread here. Now, this very first card here represents kind of what's on your mind right now or what you're wondering, and the angels love to validate that. The first thing we have is the Nine of Earth, enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, successful self-employment. Now, I'm getting for a lot of us listening here that we are questioning a new idea. Again, if you're retired, you may not be looking to start a business, but you might be looking to start something, and you're wondering if now is the right time. And it is talking about life's little luxuries as well. So you're wondering, am I able to do this and maintain my current material resources? Is this a good use of my material resources? And it could also be that you're just wanting to slow down and be able to enjoy life's little luxuries, but you're worried about the time and commitment you need to make towards a project, towards maybe your own business. So there's some balance in there that you're looking to bring in where you're getting to both keep working on something that you want, but then also still be able to slow down and enjoy life. So let's see what's coming up in the challenge energy here. The crossing energy, we have the Ten of Water. All right, it says a contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met. Trustworthy relationships. So you're feeling challenged to both be there for your family and balance your emotional needs, and also be able to get these things done that you want to get done. So again, you may not be looking to start your own business. You may not be somebody who's actually working on something right now, but there is something you want to keep going with. But it's always about finding that balance, that work-life balance, or that balance between being productive and being able to slow down and enjoy time with your family, or do things that really help bring a stability to your emotional needs, right? Because we do want to make sure we're nurturing ourselves. It could also be that some of you have some children that are really needing your attention right now, or you're just having to put so much time and energy into the family and be there for them that it's not giving you that quiet time alone that you're really looking for. So let's see what's coming up in the root of your spread, and that'll help give us a little clarity here with what's coming up for us subconsciously. It says Six of Water. We have memories from your history or childhood, issues regarding children, romanticizing the past. So yeah, it's just letting you know that there may be still things going on from your past that you're romanticizing. It could be that there are issues regarding your children or from your childhood that need to be addressed, that are interfering with helping you have that emotional stability. Maybe it is the fact that you need to heal something around your childhood or with your children that will help bring in this stability. But I am really hearing also that this nostalgia, that romanticizing the past, is something that we are not aware we are doing. And one of the things that I've spent a lot of time doing recently because of the current astrology, I've gone back and started rereading journals from 2016, 2017, where I was tracking my intuition and writing things down. And I am starting to see a theme of romanticizing the past. I didn't even know I was doing it. That's why it's coming up in the subconscious, but I wasn't remembering some of the struggles and challenges. Now you might say, well, that's a good thing, right? Let's remember the positive. Absolutely, unless it's something that needs to be released and honored and admitted, wait a minute, things weren't quite as good as I thought they were. And that's one thing we'll see people do a lot of times with relationships, but it could even be like, oh man, I missed that house that I lived in growing up. It was just such a beautiful location and everything was so wonderful. But from your perspective as a child, as a younger person, it was. Now you might look back at that area and go, you know what, it doesn't really fit my energy. So it doesn't have to be with relationships, but there is something regarding romanticizing the past that still needs to be released. So let's see what's coming up in the recent past. That'll give us a little more clarity too. We have the Ten of Air, the end of a difficult situation, embrace the change and expect things to get better, recovering from addiction. So there is something that you've been having to embrace. It's a change. It's probably a change in the way you're communicating what your heart wants. I feel like you are learning to release things in a different way. I feel like you're learning not to sit in a mindset anymore, and you're learning to move away from that. So the angels are commending you for working on that, right? And so that's one of the things we want to continue to do. Were you getting addicted to a thought process about how you were wronged by a boss or by a partner? Or are you addicted to the thought process of, I wish things could just be the way they were? That's romanticizing the past. These changes happen, change is always happening, and it's embracing the change that really helps us propel us forward. So let's see what we have coming up in the present energy here. We have the King of Air, another air card, brilliant, impartial, professional, diplomatic. Speak your mind with confidence, seek out professional advice, balance mental and emotional considerations. So this is again talking about how we don't want to just ignore our thoughts. We do want to acknowledge where maybe our mind is overthinking things, or maybe we haven't put enough thought into something because of the emotions it stirs within us. So maybe spending that quiet time alone could really help you with that. But I am feeling like with this current energy here, this is essentially you conquering that thought process from the past. Like we said, things getting better, embracing the change. And the more that you work on embracing that change, the more you can embrace this King of Energy card, which is being that diplomat, being able to say, you know what, I'm not going to let my emotions take over this situation or somebody else's emotions take over. I am going to communicate how I feel in a grounded and loving way. I'm going to bring balance to how I feel and balance to my thoughts. Those are all going to be really positive things to do right now. Now, one of the ways you can do this is with your affirmations, with your journaling. So we'll do a pocket affirmation or two coming up in this for the personal power. But first, let's check what's coming in the near future here. We have the Five of Air. It says, an unwise choice, learn what you can from the situation, review everyone's motives. Well, since this is coming up in the near future, what it's letting me know is there is going to be more communication coming in for you where you're going to want to step back and go, wait a minute, where is this person coming from? Are we on the same page? Are we seeing eye to eye? You do need clarity on something. Since we have this King of Air card in the present energy, I feel like this information that's going to be coming in for you may be a little immature. Maybe the person who's communicating with you is not in a balanced emotional or mental state. So we're going to want to slow down, ground our energy, and get clear on some things. So this is also a card of probably wanting to ask a lot of questions and being willing to wait before you give a response, right? Taking that deep breath, counting to 10 before you respond, maybe asking to sleep on it before you give people an answer. So let's see what's coming up in the near future, and that'll help us know what our power will be in this situation. So for your personal power, we have the Emperor. Look at that. Archangel Michael, organization and logic, structure and discipline, and leadership. This is saying your power will come from getting grounded, getting organized, applying structure to a situation. I do feel like whatever this information that's coming in or whatever this reaction is from people around you, which we will get to external factors in a moment, it's going to require you to slow down and make some lists, put things in order of priority. Maybe there's too much going on. And one of the things that I am seeing is it's almost like you're having to create a spreadsheet to get clear on what kind of financial resources are needed, what kind of things need to be done, and when. There's some kind of structure and discipline that needs to be applied so for you to be able to embrace this King of Air energy, and being that professional, being diplomatic, right? So when somebody's coming into you and say, you have to do this right now, you have to do it, or else we're going to lose the deal, or we're going to lose the opportunity. This is where you get to be the King of Air and say, you know what? I'm not comfortable yet. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. It doesn't mean you're dragging your feet and you're not putting your attention and energy into it. But I always have that example flash in my mind of the car salesman that says, if you can drive this car off the lot today, I can give you this deal. I cannot guarantee you this deal tomorrow. And you're going, well, hold on. I was just here just window shopping. This is making me uncomfortable. That energy, watch out for it, because that's what they're saying is coming up in the near future, reviewing everyone's motives. So this is where you need to be the Emperor and say, I am not going to let that energy guide me. I'm going to ground myself. I'm going to be disciplined about how I approach this information. So let's see what's coming up in the external factors. In the external factors, we have the Queen of Water, tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, loving, relationships develop to a new level, trust your intuition, Care for yourself and others. All right, this is coming up in your external factors, and I know we need to go back and do your pocket affirmation for the personal power. I just realized, but I was anxious to get to see what this external factor is. Well, it's really interesting because we have that 10 of Cups over in the challenge energy. It's like you've been feeling challenged to nurture yourself and others, but people around you are really requiring this. You have a lot of people around you who are needing you to be that queen of water for them. And maybe that's one of the reasons that they're not very clear on what they're asking and why you guys are not being able to see eye to eye. So let's go back to your personal power card here, all right? This is a very important power here of being organized, right? So I find time to organize my thoughts. I want you to write that down in the comment section below. I find time to organize my thoughts because we have so much air energy coming in here. Air energy in the past, air energy in the present, and air energy coming in the near future that's a little more challenging. Make sure you are finding time to organize your thoughts. And how do you do that? You journal. You write them down. You create your to-do list. You ask your spiritual team for help getting things done or getting clarity. You spend that quiet time alone to get clear on what do you want. That's a big thing that's important here too. When this information is flying through the door and people are saying, I need you for this. I need you to make a decision. I need you to help me with this. Slow down and first say, wait a minute, what does my heart want to do? A lot of us out there watching this video right now, we tend to lean towards the people pleaser side. I know you, I see you. You are a light worker, even if you don't have a business card that says that. You're here because you have light to share with the world. And a lot of times we quickly say yes to something before we review our own motives and we get clear on why we're saying yes. So that is something I'm seeing here, is that you have a lot of people around you requiring your nurturing ability, and you want to just make sure you're not saying yes to things just to be a people pleaser. Is it really what your heart wants? Write your to-do list down. You might go, I don't have time for this. I can't commit to being part of that nonprofit. I can't commit to helping out with that event. I haven't been able to get organized with my own thoughts and my own projects, right? You know what that is for you. I can tell something popped into your mind right now. So make sure you are writing it down in your journal. What was the first thing you thought of? Maybe you even thought of a person who's trying to get you to do, plan an event with them or go out with them or plan a trip with them. It doesn't mean you can't do these things. You just want to apply that structure and discipline from that Emperor card. So let's see what's coming up in the hopes or fears card, and then we'll be about to get to break it down where we'll get even more clarity. We have the Six of Earth. It says gifts of money, time or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan or paying off a debt. And so again, I was saying earlier, I was feeling that you were all wondering, is this something I can do without bringing imbalance to my material resources? That's definitely what you're worried about. There's something you want to do, but it's a little scary to do because it means investing time, investing energy, investing money. And you're wondering if you're going to be able to do that in a way that maintains that balance in your lifestyle. So just be aware that that's there. We don't want to get caught up in fear around material resources, but we do want to pay attention to what are the things that might make things feel out of balance. And since we are being asked to apply this structure and discipline here to anything that we're being asked to do, that might be where you're having to set a budget, right? You're having to set a budget with something, and it could be a budget around your time. I'm only going to commit this amount of time to this group or organization. I'm only going to commit this amount of time to, getting these things done during the day so that I have more time to work on my creative projects and the things I want. So think about that too. It's important that we're holding space for all those areas in our life. We're not just working and ignoring relationships. We're not just ignoring our health because of relationships, all those things, right? Those balance there. So let's see what's coming up in the final outcome. And then of course, we'll break it down for you. We have Seven of Fire. Defend your beliefs and decisions, stand your ground, choose your battles wisely. All right, so we're going straight for this card right here. It's so obvious. There is going to be information coming through the door very soon where you are going to have to stand back and say, I've already put a boundary here. This is interfering with what I want to do. This is making me worry about my financial resources or about my time commitment here. So slow down. I mean, like I was sharing with the journal that I've been rereading, at the time during those years, my kids were very young. I was very busy. I was trying to do all these different things. I was working with the nonprofit. I had different classes I was taking. And I remember I was journaling saying that I really need to take some of the things off my schedule so that I can slow down a little bit and be here for my family more and not feel so overworked. And I was literally writing in the journal, but I don't want to let other people down. I don't want to let them down. But you got to really think about where you're giving your power away to that. It's not on you if they're let down. As long as you're communicating that in a compassionate way, if in your heart you're saying this is taking away from me feeling balanced, right? This 6 of Earth card, then you've got to stand up for yourself. You've got to take your power back. That's why I feel like this Emperor energy here is really wanting you to apply that structure and discipline. So let's also write in the comment section below, I embrace my Emperor energy. I embrace my Emperor energy. Write that in the comment section below. Remember, you can apply that discipline, that structure. You can stand up for your beliefs, and that's ultimately what you're going to do. And you're doing it so that you do have balance in these areas of your life. All right, we're going to move over to break it down. We're going to pull 3 cards from these 3 decks I have all ready to go here. If these messages are resonating with you, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button, share this video with anybody you feel it would resonate with. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button so we can stay in connection. I love hearing from all of you. I love it. I love reading your comments. Thank you to all of you who are always commenting, and feel free to always ask questions there so that I can answer them in future videos. I do my lives every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central where I can answer your questions live, or I can answer them the following week if you put them in the comment section under those. Also, I'm looking for new things to share with you guys. I love connecting so much with you this way. If there's other topics you'd like me to discuss, feel free to drop those in the comment section below. Okay, what I'm going to do with these 3 cards is we're going to break it down even further, row by row, and we'll just pull the guidance all together at the end. And of course, we will do your bonus messages that give you actions to take. But this is a really great way to validate some of the things that were coming through for the Celtic cross. It just brings a little bit more clarity, and we will not only go row by row, but then pull it all together with the overall picture. So in the first row here, we have this card, Knight of Gabriel. Ooh, I like that. It says, time to take action, great passion for a cause, instinctively knowing what to do. All right, confident, enthusiastic, courageous, and charismatic. So I'm definitely seeing, again, that wand energy there, but also that impulsive energy. We said coming in the near future, we have that 5 of air where you're going to be asked to review everyone's motives. It might be a situation where someone in your environment is being impulsive, but it could also be that you're being triggered by something and it's causing you to take on, it's that impulsive behavior of buying something just because it's on sale, not because you actually need it, or buying it just because you happen to be standing in the checkout line and you're like, oh, I think I'll have that, and it wasn't part of your budget. So let's look to see what's coming up in this next card here. We have the Princess of Winter here. Inquisitive, truthful, realistic, undiplomatic. Is that what it says? Undiplomatic. Oh, okay. Information that can help you, but which may be difficult to hear. Speaking the truth with kindness and indulge an indigo child or adult. Yeah, this is a card of like, the young kid that says whatever they feel or think without a filter, but they actually are telling the truth. It might come out in a tactless way, but it's actually very truthful there. And again, we were getting that card of reviewing everyone's motives. So I think it's just, again, reminding us, please don't be impulsive as information comes through the door. This could even be with headlines. This could be with things you're seeing on social media. It may not be an actual person, but it could be a younger person, but it's something coming through that's new information, and it might be hard to hear, but it's the truth. So let's see what's coming up in the Angel Answers deck so we can validate what's coming through for you. We have remain positive. Yeah, I love that. I love that card is following with that. This information may come through in a tactless way. It might be hard to hear, but stay positive. So let's keep going with the second row here. We have the 7 of Ariel card. It says you have invested wisely, have patience, and wait for the harvest. Review your progress and make plans for your next endeavor. Look at that beautiful card there. This is just a card reminding you that you have planted the seeds necessary to go where you're going. So if this new information comes through the door, it causes you to hit the pause button on some plans. Trust that it's in your highest interest. If this new information came in and you're going, whoa, 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 I don't think I want to handle it this way. I don't think I want to do it this way, but you have already planted these seeds. So don't feel like you're totally going back to the drawing board. It's just a time of pause and allowing things to germinate. So let's see what comes up in the next card here in the second row. We have, upside down, reminder to those of you who are new here, I don't read reversals. I always tell the angels I'm not going to read reversals. So we have 2 of Autumn here. It says bring fun into everything you do, juggling multiple priorities or jobs, and an exceptional talent for multitasking. All right, I love this energy here because it is reminding you that, again, if we apply that Emperor energy where we make our lists, we figure out what we need for our material resource, we figure out how much time and energy, we create a budget. These are going to be things that help us with this energy of remembering to stay on track. We've planted the right seeds. We don't want to go way off track. We don't want to go off budget. We don't want to agree to something just because we're being pushed to do it. It's an impulsive energy. So let's see what's coming up for the third card here. We have the No card here. All right, you know what I'm getting for this? You're going to have to say no. Remember, we had in the final outcome of the Celtic Cross, stand up for your beliefs, stand your position. There is going to be something you're going to have to say no to. You're either going to say, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to go to that event. I'm not going to be part of that group. You might have to say, no, I'm not going to spend the money on this right now. I'm going to wait until I feel more comfortable, right? And it may be somebody pushing you to make a commitment, and it would be easier to get them off your back to say yes, but here's where the challenge comes in, being willing to stand your ground and say no. So if somebody's asking you to do something, I would really caution you to listen to your heart and see if this is something you really want to do. So let's see what's coming up in the final row so we can get to your bonus messages here with your actions to take. We have the Ace of Ariel. It says, it's your lucky day, new resources, money, time, or support. I love that. A change in job or promotion. So yeah, one of the reasons we're having this temporary pause in action, like we're showing right here in the second row, is because there is something new coming on in that you're not aware of yet. And that's really exciting. There's this impulsive information, this tactless information. It's all meant to slow you down just enough to be able to say, hey, maybe I don't really need to make that purchase, or I don't really need to commit to that event, trip, group of people, right? There's something we're being asked to slow our thoughts down on and not be impulsive. And then the next card we have here is the 5 of Spring. It says opposing, let me let it focus there. Opposing goals arising from differing opinions. Yep, we just had this similar energy. Feeling at odds with yourself or others. Overly ambitious people. Let me try to see if it'll focus there. There we go. This is basically saying, again, to review everyone's motives. Maybe you're not clear on why someone is asking you to do it. Maybe you are trying to say, my favorite example with this card is you're planning a vacation with a best friend or a spouse, and they want to go do every historical tour and hike every hiking trail, and you want to sit by the pool and read your book. It's opposing motives, right? What is the compromise there? Get clear on that. Have that conversation. Hey, maybe we could do one hike in the morning, and then I'll let you go do your tour and I'll sit by the pool. Find ways to compromise, or at least get clear on what everybody's motives are. And maybe it's not, maybe you shouldn't be taking that vacation if it's not going to be in everyone's highest interest. Let's see what's coming up in the answers card. We have, it's up to you. Yeah. So there is something here that you're being asked to make a decision about. You know, the angels will never tell us what to do, but I really feel that you're being asked to do something by somebody else, and you're being pulled by this need of pleasing them, not wanting to let them go. Maybe you are wanting to support them. You love them. You're like, hey, I want to see them be successful, and they're asking me to help with this. You can do it. We have free will, but you really got to be clear on what your heart wants. And it's just like I said, I was reading some of those journals, some of those things I didn't want to let my friends down, but really in my heart of hearts, it was too much, right? So I know there's something that is coming into your mind right now. Make sure you are writing it down, giving yourself credit for what's popping up. You don't have to know everything right this minute, but when you write it down, it is so powerful to go back and reread. And I constantly thank my past self for giving my present self the gift of being able to use hindsight, right? So these are going to be the bonus messages here where we're going to get some actions to take. And just a quick reminder here too, you can sign up for my free newsletter at devonduerr.com and get my gift for you. Is it a sign? It's my ebook that gives you 5 questions to ask when you think you've seen a sign. So if you don't really understand what some of these messages mean, those questions could help you interpret these on a deeper level. Of course, it gives you some prompts that way so you can learn how to journal with these signs. So let's see what's coming up in the present energy right now. Yes, again, validating that air energy we're getting everywhere. We have 8 of air. We have an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. Yeah, there's something that you're feeling trapped in. You know what I mean? You said you were going to do something and now you're changing your mind now that you've learned something new. I'm getting that you're feeling trapped in either a relationship or a situation. They're wanting you to know that this current energy that you're feeling right now is just an illusion. You are not trapped. You need to have confidence in your ability to remove yourself from whatever this is that's causing you to feel anxious. So let's see what's coming up in the near future. We have the 9 of Water card. Your wishes come true. Concerns fade away. A love of life. Yeah, it's validating that if you can remove yourself from this idea that you're trapped in a routine, in a relationship, in a situation, in a commitment, you can find your way out of that. You can ask your angels for help. Remember, we do have to ask, but ask for creative solutions. So let's see what's coming up in the future, and then we'll get our actions. We have the 7 of Water. Yeah. So a complex decision, the need to do more research, stop procrastinating. Well, we are going to have a little bit of a temporary pause in action because of this new information coming in. And then you're going to have a situation where you have a bunch of options to move forward with, to remove yourself from feeling trapped. And you're going to have confidence in your ability to make the right choice, right? So let's see what's coming in the actions. That'll help you know what to do next. We have the 2 of Water. It says a relationship that continues to grow closer, the positive resolution of a conflict, and forgiveness. So you want to trust that you're going to find a positive resolution to a conflict. That means a win-win-win scenario. It's a win for you. It's a win for them. It's a win for the collective, right? Now, when I say win for them, it doesn't mean you're saying yes. We did get that no card earlier, but maybe the win for them comes further down the road when they're able to see that, hey, if I had gotten that person to do this for me, if I had gotten that person to help me when they didn't want to, I wouldn't have learned how to do it on my own. I wouldn't be as strong as I am now. So sometimes it's that tough love thing. You're actually doing someone a favor by saying no, because it's only enabling them to stay in a certain energy if you're doing something your heart doesn't want. So let's see what your second action card is here. Yeah, we have the World card here. A job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude, the path toward enlightenment. So I'm really getting with that 8 of Air card right now that something is making you feel trapped. It could be in your daily routine. It could be something on your calendar that's coming up that you're not looking forward to. It could be a current relationship that you're in where there's just not a healthy dynamic there. And there's not a good give and take. Remember, we did have that 6 of Earth card there of your hopes and fears. You want to make sure you are receiving the energy back that you're putting into something. So think carefully about that as well. And I think that's going to really help you with these action cards. Thank you all so much for being here. And remember, take time every day to connect with the angels.